In 3, 2, 1. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and that's it for tonight. What is that? Okay, there's nothing there. No, there's nothing on the there's nothing on the teleprompter. There's nothing there. I don't see anything. What does that mean? What do you mean to play us out? To play us out? Oh, you mean like to end the show? All right, go. In 3, 2, 1. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and that's it. Okay, I can't do. All right, that's it. I'll write it. We'll do it live. F it. We'll do it live. Do you guys remember seeing that from Bill O'Reilly back when he was with was that 60 Minutes or something? Or no, what was the other one? It was one of those old. It was an old show. He was the main guy on there. Just all you have to do is Google YouTube, search YouTube for Bill O'Reilly, do it live. You want to see these people who think they're such elitists lose control? He can't even get his lines right, and he's flipping out. Wow. One of my favorite things to watch. To get a good chuckle out of old Bill O'Reilly. Ah, it's great. U.S. court says Ecuadorians, little people, as Hillary Clinton refers to us, won't collect from big oil in the biggest environmental case in the entire world. WakingTimes.com. Christina Surich, staff writer. A court debacle labeled the biggest environmental case in the world just sided with big oil. Quick! Look surprised. A New York federal, i.e. presidential picked, appointed person, appeals court has ruled that Ecuadorians who were concerned over the health of their rainforest after a 23-year battle with the Chevron subsidiary Texaco for polluting vast swaths of Lago Agrio in the Ecuadorian jungle cannot hold the company financially culpable. Then who poisoned these water sources? Who do we go after? Well, you went after the right person, but you're not going to collect because it's part of the club. And the other club member, known as the court system, and the one above it, the federal appeals court, will side with the lower court because they're both for the club. Big oil is the club. Just like big finance, JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, those guys, too big to fail, also part of the club. Prosecutors, district attorney, part of the club. Oh, come on, Jason. Not all these people of the most important places are part of the club. Yeah, actually that's how it works. Just go Google any of their names, and you will watch their little history, where they went, who they know, who they were. He worked for Timothy Geithner. Timothy Geithner worked for the bank. Now he's the Treasury Secretary. Former Goldman Sachs, Hank Paulson, Goldman Sachs again. He worked for that bank, then Goldman Sachs. Now he's over here, Treasury Secretary, back over there, Security and Exchange Commission. This person up, head of the CFTC, which is the regulatory body over the commodities market. What was his name? Gary. What's that moron's name? Gary Gensler. Worked for the bank. Top guy at the CFTC. Goes back and works for the bank. Matter of fact, speaking of old Gary, old Gare Bear, if you guys haven't been keeping up with here, Gary Gensler Hillary. Gary Gensler Hillary. Bloomberg exclusive, August 5th, 2016. Bloomberg. I have to change gears for a second. I'll get back to the oil story. Hillary Clinton said to hire former Wall Street cop as campaign CFO. Hillary Clinton will bring on one of Wall Street's fiercest critics to oversee her campaign's finances. Gary Gensler Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Mary Jo White and Commodities Future Trading Commission Chairman Gary Gensler testified before the Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee in the Dirksen Senate Office Building on Capitol Hill, July 30th, 2013. Got a little picture of him there. You're going to call Gary Gensler former Wall Street cop? That's like calling the biggest, most powerful bank robber the law. The law is going after this guy. And who is that? So-and-so. So-and-so the bank robber? You just referred to him as the law? Was he just some kind of satire? The Onion? What do you got going on here? Gary Gensler. Get the F out of here. Anyways, back to the original story. See, in case anyone had a little brain freeze. Oh, come on, Jason. Not everybody's connected and part of the club. I was just barely scratching the surface. Do you know how massive of a list I could come up with just by following the same stuff I just told you about? Treasury Secretary, Goldman Sachs. All you got to do is look at the top banks. It's a revolving door of everybody. Plain and simple. Pick your favorite regulatory agency, whether it's the FDA, the USDA, the CDC, CFTC, Security and Exchange Commission, all of them. Just look up a regulatory agency, go to WikiLeaks, and it'll tell you, well, this person was head of it from this year to that year and was appointed by President so-and-so. Appointed by President so-and-so. And then, that was from 1999 to 2003. Like remember the old MTV, like Rockstar thing, Where Are They Now? Guys from 20, 30 years ago, where are they now? And they show a little episode of where they were back in 20, 30 years ago, rocking it out. Now here's what they're doing today and what they're working on today. You don't hear from them. Where are they now? It's kind of the same thing. Gary Gensler, where are they now? Oh, working for Hillary as the top cop on the finances of Hillary. You couldn't get further from the truth. If he's there to do the same thing he did when he was head of CFTC. We think they're rigging the market. Here's ample evidence. This guy, Andrew Maguire, called into your guys at the CFTC and told them 2 separate instances, specifically times and when, on the days and the times, when they're going to rig the market for silver and drop the price. It would be after the non-farm payroll on this day, and it'll be after whatever the other one was on that day. Oh, yeah, you're right. They did it. We'll look into this. We have we'd like to tell everyone we have a 3 to 4 year investigation. We've concluded that at the hunt with Gary Gensler at the helm. And we didn't come to any conclusion on that we didn't see any wrongdoing. So this guy got lucky twice telling you exactly when they got you. Okay. Anyways, sorry to get off track, but I realize I get new subscribers every single day. And if they're just kind of catching on to what the hell's going on in this country, I like to bring people up to speed. But as you know, I can get carried away and talk because I could really fill someone up with some information. And that's why I do talk a lot. I want people to understand, not just hear 2 or 3 words out of my mouth and just say, well, why is he saying that? I don't know. Is he trustworthy? Can I trust this information from this guy? Just hit the subscribe button. Who the hell is this guy? Stick around. I will educate you. So, Texaco is accused of dumping contaminated water into pits used by the locals in the area while operating there for over a decade. Sadly, the U.S. Court of Appeals upheld a lower court's finding, which determined that the Ecuadorian court judgment was obtained by corrupt means. So the Ecuadorian court said, yes, we agree. You people have absolute rights to sue them, and you should get a judgment. Nope. U.S. court says, sorry about your luck. Now, hang on a second. Last time I checked, this happened in Ecuador, not U.S. soil. So how in the hell does a U.S. court find in favor of people in the U.S. in another country says, well, no, they don't owe the money. The Ecuadorian court said that you owe the money because you poisoned their water. But let me read that again, because Court of Appeals, U.S. Court of Appeals, upheld a lower court's finding which determined that the Ecuadorian court judgment was obtained by corrupt means. Corruption was involved, so we can't honor it. Corruption. That's like the pot calling the kettle black, right? Except in this case, I don't think the pot was calling the kettle black. The pot itself is black as hell and trying to call the kettle black when the kettle is white as can be, if you know what I mean, like angel white. In other words, indigenous peoples living peacefully amongst themselves, no technology, no nothing. We're happy in this jungle. Here comes all this equipment and all this strange sounds and all this stuff. What is this? We're here to put some money in your pocket to help you guys a little bit. Okay. Don't know what the hell you're doing. We don't know about drilling oil. We don't know anything about this. But we do know we're getting sick. And we do know you're destroying our land. But our court system here found us in favor. Yours says it was done through corrupt means. So it doesn't count. Not even a do-over, right? No do-over. Just doesn't count. Have a nice day. Chevron, let me finish where I was. Determined that the Ecuadorian court judgment was obtained by corrupt means, according to the Associated Press. Of course, again, where does all news come from? Associated Press or Reuters. That's it. A $9 billion judgment for the plaintiffs was at stake. But the U.S. court has ruled that Big Oil is not responsible for polluting the area, and their assets cannot be seized. I would seize the living shit out of every asset over there. Oh, hey, compadres, we just became oil cartel members. It just happened overnight. The U.S. court sided with them. Look at this area. We all know it's polluted. We all know they destroyed this land. We're going to have to clean this crap up. We're going to need a lot of money to clean it up. We will seize these civil asset forfeiture going crazy in America. This is overseas now. Civil asset forfeiture for the Big Oil. We're taking it over. And you want to know what the next headline would be? Breaking news. Ecuador is housing ISIS members. U.S. to put troops on the ground over there to deal with ISIS. And you know where they'll deal with it at? Right in the spot where this oil is. Just like they did in every other Middle Eastern country. They'll do it there too. That'd be the next headline you heard. Breaking news. Ecuador is harboring a terrorist. Osama bin Laden's son and uncle is taken over down there. Jihadi John's great-grandfather. Papa, you may know him as Papa John. Papa, not the pizza guy. Papa John is coming over to, for God's sakes. Cannot be seized. You know how fast I would do. Oh, can't be seized. The camera's on. Ready? Watch this. Give me that pen and paper. Just signed into law. All this is ours. Have a nice day. Oh, that little treaty we had where you can come over and drill our land, that's over. Because again, you polluted it. Our court system found that you polluted it. You can see you polluted it. Your court system says you didn't. But your stuff's on our land, and this is our oil now. So give me that pen. Let me write this law real fast. Thank you. Have a nice day. That's how that would go. Chevron, Texaco, says that the plaintiff's lawyer, or lawyers, who obtained the original judgment were corrupt, and that they are happy to see justice prevail. Other environmental activists have pointed out Chevron's egregious acts in the Amazon, calling it Chevron's Chernobyl of the rainforest. Streams and rivers have been contaminated with crude oil for decades in a devastating disregard for the forest and its ecosystems. Despite years of activists calling attention to this travesty, the corrupt media and mafia-owned justice system, as I explained, has sided with Big Oil yet again. Incidentally, Reuters, who reported on this story originally, is owned by the Rothschild family. Remember what I said. All news comes from two sources, Associated Press or Reuters. Chevron attests that a 1998 agreement between Texaco and the Ecuadorian government absolves it of liability. A U.S. spokeswoman for the Ecuadorians, Karen Hinton, told the Associated Press that the plaintiffs were shocked by the ruling and called it a sad day for the U.S. justice system. My friends in Ecuador, that may be a sad day, but let me tell you something. Almost every day here is another sad day for the U.S. justice system as more criminals at the top don't get prosecuted for anything. You may be watching this Banana Republic sideshow, with Hillary Clinton. No charges. We're gonna now the FBI is investigating. They're gonna investigate. They did it. They're doing it. They're gonna investigate the Clinton Foundation. They said they don't care. They're gonna do it anyways. And what did I say is gonna happen? Nothing. Nothing will happen. I've got ample amounts of evidence to support my theory that nothing's gonna happen. Exhibit A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. Keep going. Again, back to the point. Appointed Supreme Court Justice, appointed Attorney General, appointed FBI head, appointed CIA head, appointed Justice Department, if I didn't say that, appointed. Are these appointed people going to find themselves, their group, their club, guilty on anything? Absolutely not. It's a club. Members only. Maybe they need to bring that jacket back out. Members only jacket. So that all the club members can wear it. And then we would all point out, hey, guys, it's us conspiracy theorists again on YouTube. Every time we see one of these top people, officials, they've got a members only jacket. We told you they were part of the club. Oh, that's nothing. It's just a stupid jacket. It means nothing. Well, how come they're the only ones wearing it? None of us are allowed to even buy it. Oh, it's just nothing. You could see it blowing up on YouTube. So, as disappointed as we are, this ruling will not deter the Ecuadorians, their lawyers, and their supporters from aggressively seeking justice in Canada and in other countries where litigation is underway to seize Chevron assets, Hinton said. Hinton, once the press secretary of New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio and a former employee of Governor Andrew Cuomo, when he was cabinet-level official in the Clinton administration, left her position to fight for indigenous farmers and communities in Ecuador. She gave more than 7 years of her career to try to right the wrongs of Chevron Texaco, but it seems the political payoff was bigger for those supporting the rigged big oil market. As Michael Eisner, once CEO of Walt Disney, has said, quote, "We have no obligation to make history. We have no obligation to make art. We have no obligation to make a statement. To make money is our only objective." So I think about this sometimes and say, how many rivers, waterways, water, whether it's a drinking source, whatever it is, are really polluted more than we have any idea. I mean, do you actually go out, whatever river you've ever been on, do you take equipment with you and water sample tests? No, you don't do that. So for each of these stories that come out, even in our own country, about something spilling in the river, and this level's high, when I went to Tennessee in 2013, January, stayed till August, came back to Florida, just didn't work out there. I was in that restaurant with my boss, that smokehouse. And the health inspector came in to tell us, under no circumstances can you ever buy any fish, catfish, because everyone there loves catfish, that came out of that river. And it was right next to us where we were at the Tennessee River, I believe it was. He made it very clear, because it is so polluted, you cannot. Chemicals, everything's in there. You cannot take catfish out of there and serve it to the public. And one of the girls that worked there, she said, "Oh, I would, I've been on the boats out there before, for fun or whatever. And I'm like, you guys do any tubing or water skiing? Oh no, I would never ever get in that water. Why not? What's wrong with it? Oh, it's just polluted. It's just nasty. I'd never get in there. Oh, I didn't know that. And here in Florida, recently, I know I can find this real quick. Florida, new chemicals dumped in water. July 27th, 2016. So again, today's the 14th right now of August. State regulators vote to increase some cancer-causing toxins in lakes and rivers in Florida. Let me close that out. Florida today. Some fear regulations will let polluters dump too many toxic chemicals into rivers and lakes used for drinking water Here we go. This is fantastic. You know how, a presidential appointed federal judge, presidential appointed FDA head, remember how I keep saying that? I did not in any way, shape, or form read this article I'm about to read you right now, ever. I just searched for what I searched for. I just told you, and this came up. It's floridatoday.com. I don't know if I've ever been there in my life, but it came up with the news story. First line after the headline. A governor-appointed panel on Tuesday approved new controversial criteria that some fear will let polluters dump too many toxic chemicals into rivers and lakes used for drinking water, just like the Supreme Court, 5-4 ruling, right? By a 3-2 vote, the Environmental Regulatory Commission signed off on the new water quality standards for more than 100 toxic chemicals, including benzene, a cancer-causing petroleum byproduct used in hydraulic fracking, during its regular meeting in Tallahassee. Why would that be anywhere in Florida? We don't do drill wells here or oil wells or anything like that. Why would we be taking care of a byproduct from fracking? The new criteria now go to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for approval, EPA. And remember the story I just gave you in the beginning. Do you think they're going to approve this, folks? The club has handed the other club a little card. We need you to pass this. How do you think it's going to go? I will be floored if they say, no, we don't want to do that. Quote, we have not updated these parameters since 1992. It is more good than harm, end quote. ERC Commissioner Carrie Roth, a Tallahassee lawyer whose ERC seat represents developers, said just before the vote. A lawyer, huh? You mean your job is to find in favor of your client, and your client apparently wants to pollute the waters more. ERC Commissioner Carrie Roth, a Tallahassee lawyer whose ERC seat represents developers. 3-2 vote. Carrie, how'd you vote? Oh, I voted for it. She was the third vote probably, right? To me, it would be far worse to delay. Really? The parameters would impact the types of chemicals released during hydraulic fracking, oil and gas drilling, by sewer plants, paper and pulp plants, dry cleaning businesses, and other industries. I love the other ones because that can mean anything. Those chemicals can wind up in the water we drink and the shrimp, fish, and other seafood we eat. The proposed rules sets, quote, stringent and protective criteria for 39 chemicals that currently have no limits, DEP asserts on its website. In addition, this rule includes updates for 43 chemicals whose standards are more than 20 years old. Now, when I first read this, essentially, when the news came out, it basically was saying they're going to take out a couple, 2 or 3 cancer, bad chemicals off the list and add, 43 more or something like that. This is one little story in Florida. That's one little story in Ecuador. How many other little stories do you think there are out there in the world? How many do you think that are out there that no one knows about because nothing's come up yet on it? People didn't realize they've been getting sick for the last 10 years because of the water they're drinking, because they were told that these companies are on them. They're against the law to pollute. They don't pollute. They don't use the river. They don't use the river. Then why are they right on the river? Why did they build that warehouse and factory right on the river? Pull the Ben Bernanke line. Pull the Ben Bernanke line. Why did they build on the river? Yes, sir. Tradition. Just tradition to build on a river. Right. Okay. And the extinction of humans is not going to happen in the future because why? Can someone help me out with that one? Take care.